There are 5 types of HOA communities. Community associations are each unique, yet also have similarities. The most notable being that they oversee homes within their jurisdiction and have the obligation to collect assessments, sometimes referred to as dues, in order to maintain and effectively operate the association. The first and most common type of association is called an HOA community. Otherwise known as a homeowners association, the HOA community is the most common and well-known type of association. It is defined as an organization of homeowners that oversee the maintenance and provisions of community facilities and enforce various restrictions and covenants. The governing docs used by the HOA are known as the CCNR, or Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions. These documents are recorded in local records. When a buyer purchases property within an HOA community, they automatically become a member of the HOA. While they don't own any interest in the common area of the community, they are responsible for its maintenance and care. There are dues associated with living in the HOA community. These funds are to be allocated by the HOA board members to pay for common area maintenance, utilization of amenities, and overall upkeep of the community. Some of these may include, but are not limited to, gates, clubhouses, swimming pools, landscaping, parks, streets, and sidewalks. The HOA also functions to maintain the overall aesthetic of the community by adopting acceptable paint colors, landscaping improvements, and or other visible changes to the exterior of the homes. A condo association is similar to a homeowners association as it oversees the community, and by purchasing a condominium, you automatically become a member of the association. However, a condominium association differs in that individual units within a condo association are divided into apartment-style residential units or townhouses. Owners own everything within the wall of their own personal unit. However, they are not responsible for the main pipes, wiring, and walls of the common area. There may be some exceptions from one community to another, but some condominium associations may also include the cost of utilities. Within the condominium association, there are common elements and limited elements. The common elements include things like recreational spaces, hallways, sidewalks, and elevators. There are accessible for use. These are accessible for use by all the residents within the community. Limited elements are things like reserved parking spaces, driveways, and balconies. There are condo fees as well, or assessments that are collected to maintain the common elements and divided between the annual maintenance and any reserves there may be for future projects. The association operates under a strict set of bylaws and can use their authority to enforce the association rules. So you definitely want to know what your association rules are. And I can tell you that they also do special assessments at times. Say, for example, if there is storm damage, and that will fall on the entire community, and each owner will be charged a special assessment. The Master Association. A Master Association is the umbrella organization that exists over other associations when there are more than one within a planned community. There can be one Master Association and a secondary HOA. There can be 3 HOAs. Another example is if you live in a neighborhood with an HOA, but your community includes more than one neighborhood, condominium association, or any ecological features, the Master Association is the authority over all the associations within the community. Master associations have various levels of authority depending on the needs of the area in which they serve. Each state is completely different, so just keep that in mind. They may be responsible for roads, common areas, and architectural elements. If a large planned community has a lake or streams that require conservation of water and animal life, the Master Association will most likely be responsible for overseeing those features. Fees are collected from each association beneath the umbrella of the Master Association, and the funds are managed by the Master Association Board. Individual homeowners do not pay directly to the Master Association. In addition, the subordinate associations may have a representative that serves on the Master Association's board. Oftentimes, their meetings are open to homeowners. However, homeowners do not have an opportunity to speak, so just keep that in mind. A housing cooperative or a co-op is another type of HOA. Similar to a condominium community, a housing co-op is shared buildings within common areas. However, the biggest difference between a housing cooperative and a condominium association is the tax identification number. So by buying into a co-op, you're not purchasing a specific unit. Instead, you're buying into the co-op as a whole. So your ownership entitles you to lease a specific unit within the community. Housing cooperatives have the right to be more selective when it comes to who can purchase with them. There are restrictions within the Fair Housing Act which prohibits discriminatory practices and cannot set limitations regarding someone's net worth. There are also schemes related to co-ops like the Fair Housing Market that sets restrictions on selling and are in place to encourage affordable housing. And lastly, co-ops are mortgage, taxes, maintenance, insurance, and anything else related to the community property. Taxes for the property are paid for by the Cooperative Housing Corporation. The last type of HOA is either called a civic association or a voluntary association. A civic association is a volunteer-based organization whose main objective is to improve the neighborhoods for which it serves by working with the members, They generally exist in communities that do not already have a functioning HOA, but a group of engaging community members who have organized as a unified voice for connecting with local government. In addition, they engage with other community organizations to advocate for the area in which they live. A civic association may be more effective at expressing concerns regarding upcoming construction projects or petitioning for changes to area streets. They may accomplish more than an individual homeowners could achieve on their own. Typically, it's, residents that care about their community that are involved in a community like this or an association like this. Civic associations have no binding power to enforce their own rules and cannot mandate a collection of dues. With that being said, they must rely on donations, and these are donations that everyone has to agree on, so just keep that in mind. Planning and coordinating community events are also common within civic associations. Determining which type of community association is right for you depends on what you're hoping to get out of your residential community and really what you're wanting to get out of your home and your life, in my opinion. Everyone has a different lifestyle, so the community that you live in is always going to be very, very important. HOAs and condominiums associations can be an effective way to protect your investment by managing the common areas, maintaining community amenities, and helping to increase the value of your property. In addition, having access to things like parks, a swimming pool, clubhouse may be important to you. You may also decide that living in a neighborhood that restricts dog ownership is helpful. Some people care about that. Well-manicured lawns and social activities could also be top priority when it comes to choosing the right neighborhood for your investment. Knowing how your association can work for you as a property owner